For as long as we've had eyes to see, we've looked up at the stars and asked one single massive question. Well, today, we're going to explore how the most powerful tool humanity has ever built, artificial intelligence, might, just might, be the thing that finally gives us an answer. Are we alone? I mean, it's the big one, right? For centuries, our search has felt, well, pretty hopeless. Like trying to hear a single pin drop in the middle of a cosmic hurricane. The scale of space, the endless static, it's been a nearly impossible job. That is, until now. Because suddenly, the entire game is changing. AI isn't just a bigger telescope or a better radio dish. It's a completely new kind of partner in the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, what we call SETI. It has this incredible, almost magical ability to sift through that cosmic hurricane and pull out the one meaningful whisper hidden in all that noise. Okay, so let's get into how this actually works. This whole revolution is going to happen in 3 distinct phases, each one powered by a progressively smarter AI. First, we've got the data detective, which is basically what we have now through about 2030. Then, things get really interesting with the cosmic translator, kicking in around 2030. And finally, we get to the galactic guide, which could show up sometime after 2040. This is our roadmap for discovery. So, let's start with phase 1. This is the here and now. This is the era of ANI, or Artificial Narrow Intelligence, our tireless digital detective. So what exactly is ANI? Well, think of it as the ultimate specialist. It's the AI we're all familiar with today, the kind that can write an email or create an image. It's designed to do one single job with absolute superhuman focus. And in this case, that job is scanning the heavens for anything, and I mean anything, that looks out of place. And here's the key thing about ANI's mission. It's all about dragging the search for alien life out of the realm of imagination and sci-fi and planting it firmly in the world of hard, data-driven science. Its superpower is finding that one tiny, significant blip, a potential sign of life, buried in an ocean of cosmic static that no human could ever hope to navigate. And what's so cool is how Annie tackles this from every possible angle. First, it acts as the ultimate filter for radio static, teaching itself to ignore every TV broadcast and satellite signal from Earth to find something that is genuinely not us. Second, it's devouring data from telescopes like the James Webb, finding new planets and literally sniffing their atmospheres for gases that only life could produce. And third, it's right there on the ground, on places like Mars, acting as the smart eyes for our rovers, telling them, hey, dig that rock. That's the one that might have a fossil. And if you want to know how powerful it is, just look at this. By 2026, Andy is already spotting planets the size of Earth with 99% accuracy. Think about that. It's building a detailed map of potentially habitable worlds at a speed we couldn't have even dreamed of just a few years ago. All right, let's jump ahead to the next phase because this is where things get truly wild. Around 2030, we expect to enter the age of AGI, or Artificial General Intelligence. And this is the point where the mission changes from just finding a signal to actually understanding what it's trying to say. Now, AGI is a monumental leap. We're not talking about a tool anymore. We're talking about an intellectual partner. This is an AI that can reason, learn, and grasp context across dozens of fields, physics, biology, linguistics, just like a human can, but probably thousands of times faster. So what can it do? Well, just imagine an AGI inventing the entire field of xenolinguistics from scratch, just by analyzing a single radio message. Or how about this? It could simulate what life might look like swimming in a liquid methane sea on Titan, totally rewriting our definition of what to even look for. It could spot the incredibly faint heat signature of a Dyson sphere, a giant structure built around a star. It could even be the brain of a deep space probe, making autonomous first contact decisions light years away from any human command. This chart really just says it all, doesn't it? ANI is the tool we use to find the what, the weird pattern in the data. AGI becomes our collaborator, our partner, working with us to figure out the who and the why behind that pattern. We go from simply detecting something to actually decrypting it. Really, its entire purpose is to bridge what might be the biggest communication gap in history. It has the lonely, incredible job of turning a cold string of ones and zeros into what it might actually represent, the voice, the history, the very soul of another civilization, finally reaching us across the void. And that brings us to the final phase. Now we're stepping into the realm of pure speculation, and honestly, it's just awe-inspiring. By 2040 or so, we might witness the birth of ASI, artificial superintelligence. And ASI doesn't just look for life, it begins to map the entire network of intelligence across the cosmos. It's almost impossible for us to really wrap our heads around what an ASI would be like. I mean, try to imagine an intelligence that is smarter than every single human who has ever lived combined. If AGI is our partner, then ASI becomes our guide, a guide to a reality that our brains probably can't even perceive right now. And just to get a tiny taste of its power, think about this crazy concept. An ASI could coordinate a fleet of spacecraft to turn our own sun into a gigantic telescope. By using the sun's gravity to bend and focus light, an ASI could literally take a direct snapshot of an exoplanet's surface, clear enough to see continents, oceans, maybe even the glow of city lights. It would probably redefine life itself, maybe finding it in information patterns hidden inside dark matter. It would go beyond language to create a universal communication system. And with all that knowledge, it would finally solve the Fermi paradox, explaining why the universe seems so quiet. And maybe, just maybe, connecting us to the conversation that's been going on all along. So, after this incredible journey from detective to translator to a full-on galactic guide, what does it all mean for us? Well, simply put, our role in the universe would change forever. We'd go from being searchers to being members. This summary just lays it out perfectly. ANI, our tool, gives us a statistical possibility of life. AGI, our partner, gives us a logical inference that a civilization exists. But ASI, our guide, it could deliver physical confirmation by plugging us into cosmic networks. Let me put it another way. ANI silences the noise, AGI starts listening for a voice, and ASI lets us understand the entire universal conversation. And that, right there, is the ultimate promise in all of this. The real goal isn't just about finding aliens, it's about finding our own place in the grand scheme of things. It's the moment we are finally truly liberated from this profound cosmic solitude we've always felt. So I'll just leave you with this final thought. The technology is moving faster and faster, and a real discovery feels closer than it ever has before. But when AI finally gets the answer to that ancient question, a whole new challenge is going to begin. Will we, as a species, be ready for it? Thanks for watching.